So here's what happened next in the tithing story. So in 2015, I was invited onto a podcast to kind of tell my story. Everything from how I became a Christian to how I ended up playing guitar in the band Cutlass and stuff like that. In that podcast, I told the tithing story because basically it was the catalyst for me eventually leaving that church. When the podcast was posted, I started receiving a barrage of text messages. I was at the gym, I was getting ready to work out, and all of a sudden, my phone just lights up. I'm talking like paragraphs, Bible verses. These messages were from the pastor that had previously pulled my tithing records at the church that I left. In the text messages, he accused me of trying to destroy the church, trying to soil the bride of Christ. He said he had spent his life trying to build the church, and now I'm trying to ruin it. When I finally got a word in edgewise, I said, "Hey, did you listen to the podcast?" And he said, "No, I'm not listening to that garbage." All I said was, "Hey, look, I'm sorry you're upset. Please just listen to the podcast." A few minutes later, he texted me back. He said, "Yeah, I listened to the podcast. I only got about 5 minutes in because it was so disgusting I wanted to throw up." The first 5 minutes was me talking about like coffee and stuff. He wanted me to try to take it down. I really felt like I shouldn't take it down because it's my story. He even had people, friends of mine from that church, call me and try to get me to take the podcast down, but I said no. During this time, me and my wife had released a worship EP, and we were going around and leading worship at different churches. I got a call from one of the churches we were supposed to lead worship at. And when I answered, they said, "Hey Nate, sorry, we're gonna have to reschedule." And I said, "Reschedule or cancel?" There was a pause. He said, "Cancel." Pastor Jeremy had gone to the church that we were supposed to lead worship at and urged them to cancel us. When I asked them if they had personally listened to the podcast, they said no, someone else did and told them that it was bad. And here's the real issue. This is why people do not speak up. When you're in ministry and you're in that church circuit, if you have someone that has a vendetta against you, they can potentially ruin your chances to get future jobs, future ministry opportunities. And in my situation, that's what he was trying to do to me. In these high control environments, you're conditioned that telling your story, the truth of what happened, is gossip. And on top of that, if you do speak out, there's the fear of retribution. I want you to think about that. These people are afraid of a church. More specifically, they're afraid of a pastor. Thank you guys for listening. Stay tuned for part 9.